Hello everybody. So I am back with my Justice League review as promised. I apologize for the long wait. I have been getting over having some kind of sickness. In my last video I think I said it was strep throat, but I'm not really sure. So I'm pretty much getting over it, and now I'm back to do my review. Yeah, Flash, he's the best. Yeah. Alright, so first I want to start with what happened when we went to the theater. We walked in and we went up to the counter, and the girl behind the counter was like, first of all, I just want to start with I love. And my head started spinning, and I was like, hold up now, don't make me punch you in the mouth, because my girlfriend's standing right next to me. I'll do it. I'll punch you right in the mouth. I don't know her, I swear to God. Anyway, she's talking about my shirt. I had a Deadpool shirt on, and it was really funny. So she was like, I love your shirt. And I was like, oh, cool, thanks. Okay, you're safe then. I won't punch you in the mouth. Anyway, so then we got into the movie, and it started, and it was great, and I loved it. It was super awesome, and I'm not going to spoil anything here, but like in the middle of this video, I will spoil stuff. So if you haven't seen it yet, I'll let you know when to stop the video. So first I want to talk about who was in the movie and who was not. So I don't really think that's spoiling anything. Maybe it is. I don't know. So if you don't want to know who's in the movie and you don't want to know who's not in the movie, then skip to this time point right here, wherever I put it on here. And I'll tell you who's not in the movie. A ton of people, because it's a movie and there's a budget and there's only so much money. But anyway, so there's a lot of people who aren't in the movie. Yeah, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Wonder Woman is, BA as usual. She comes in, and her opening scene is all awesome and cool, as it always is with Wonder Woman. And Melissa really liked Wonder Woman too, and thought she was the best part of the movie. And she's sitting in the seat next to me like punching every time Wonder Woman's on the screen, so it's really funny. Of course, my favorite is The Flash. So The Flash is hilarious. He's really funny. I was a little hesitant about who they cast as The Flash when they first announced it years and years ago, and it turned out to be really good. I actually really liked the person they chose, and he was really funny, which is one of the things I really love about The Flash, is his sense of humor and just how goofy he is. And there's one scene, I'll talk about that in spoilers, because I don't know, I guess it could be a spoiler. Aquaman. Let's talk about Aquaman for a little bit. No spoilers, but we'll talk about him for a minute. So he's pretty, tough guy. He's tough guy Aquaman, and he's really protector of the people kind of Aquaman guy, and he's actually got a sense of humor, which is really cool. So it's funny to see. They all kind of have their own little jokes in the movie that they make, and they all have a funny moment or two, which is really cool. Most people's opinion of Aquaman is Aquaman kind of sucks.
You can be Aquaman. I don't want to be Aquaman, he sucks!
Not in this movie. No, viewer buddies. Not in this movie. He's pretty awesome. It puts Aquaman on a whole new level. So I was really excited that they made him the way they did. It turned out really well. Batman is Batman. He's trying to recruit the team, and he's trying to find everybody and bring them all together and just figure out who's who and all this cool stuff. And of course, my favorite scene is when he finds Barry Allen and they're talking and everything, and he says it in the trailer and all this stuff, and how he'll join the team because he needs friends and everything, and it's really funny. And Cyborg is very, he's all moody and stuff because now he's Cyborg, so he thinks his life has been ruined or whatever, and he's all kind of dark and down and just down on his luck, all about himself and everything. But he comes around later, and overall I thought the movie was really good. I thought a lot of people, critics are saying, oh, the movie's a flop, it's a mess, it's this, it's that, blah blah blah. Who cares? It's great. It's awesome. Don't listen to critic reviews. You can listen to them, you can read them, whatever, but everybody has their own opinion. So form your own opinion. Don't base your opinion on somebody else's. Go see it for yourself. Enjoy the movie. It's good for what it is. My only two complaints with the movie is, one, that it was not long enough, and unfortunately they were actually mandated to be under 2 hours. They were told that the movie had to be under 2 hours, which I really disagree with, because it's an hour and 59 minutes. Like they're right at it. So they pushed it as much as they could, and they're right under 2 hours. But I really think the movie should have been longer for what it was and what they did in the movie. And each character kind of has their own small little like origin. It's not an origin story, but it's just a small little few minute scenes for each of them about what's going on in their current life before they formed the Justice League. So I think for doing that, the movie should have been longer, but they still did a good job. And my only second complaint is that I don't think the villain Steppenwolf was a Justice League threat. I don't think he was on that level of being so tough that you needed the Justice League to beat him. So I'll leave it at that for my only two complaints. I realized in the beginning I said that Superman is in this movie, so hopefully you already knew that, because I guess it could be a spoiler for some people, but I mean, if you know who the Justice League is, Superman is one of the founding members of the Justice League. So, sorry, hopefully that doesn't spoil anything for anybody. I really apologize if it did. But now I am going to move into the spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, stop the video here, go see the movie, and then come back here. Not here because I'm here, but you're not. And then come back and watch the rest of this video. And yeah, so if you haven't seen it, we'll see you next time. If you have seen it, stick around, because here come the spoilers. Yay, spoilers. Which, if you're watching it, and you have seen the movie, then this won't be spoilers. So you are warned. All right. So let's talk about Superman coming back and the way they brought him back with the mother box. I don't really like that. I didn't really like it. I thought the whole point of Batman versus Superman at the very end of that movie, when the little particles of dirt come up off the coffin very briefly before it cuts to black, was kind of like letting you know, like, oh, he's not dead, which is accurate. He's not supposed to be dead, but apparently in this he is like dead as a doornail, because they carry him out of the coffin into the spaceship and set him in the weird gooey water stuff, and then use the mother box to bring him back. So I don't know if they're considering he was dead, or he was just like in an extreme induced coma of no consciousness, or whatever they want to call it. But anyway, I didn't really agree with the way they brought him back, but it's okay. I thought the scene was cool because they used the Flash, and anything they use the Flash in, I'm gonna like. When they're bringing him back, before they bring him back, Batman has like a contingency plan in case Superman goes all rogue and starts beating everybody up, which of course he does, because if Batman has a contingency for it, it's gonna happen. So his contingency plan is Lois Lane, which is really funny because he calls her the big guns, and she eventually does step in, and it like snaps him back to reality, I guess you could say. My favorite scene in the whole movie, one of them, is when they're all together that first time, and Superman is standing on the statue, or where his statue was, and they all show up there, and they all start, like, he goes crazy, and Cyborg tries to attack him because his mother box built body is all crazy and recognizing Superman's Kryptonian DNA, and it's like, kill, 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 and he can't do anything about it, so Superman reacts, and he just starts beating everybody up, and it's great, and Flash takes off, and he's like, zoom, zoom, like, zoom, 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 and, he's running by Superman, and, he's looking at him, and then Superman's like, ch-ch-ch. And the Flash is like, oh my god, he can see me, he's matching my speed. Like, not really matching it, but, because he's not as fast as the Flash. Nobody is. And I thought that scene was really, really cool when he's trying to catch the Flash, and the Flash is like freaking out because he's never met anybody as fast as him, and, or who can keep up with him, and it's a really good scene, and I really like that whole scene. One of my favorite things, not my favorite thing, but one of the funniest things that I think when they do in a movie is when somebody headbutts somebody and it doesn't affect them, so they headbutt them back like this. And Yeah, I just think that's the best. And Wonder Woman headbutts Superman, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and then he picks her up, and he headbutts her into the freaking ground. It's awesome. I was like, "Yeah, I love it." It was awesome. The villain Steppenwolf, I wasn't really too familiar with. A lot of people are complaining because it's too much CGI. It's too much CGI. Like, come on, are you serious? Like, just deal. There's gonna be some things that are gonna be CGI. It's a freaking superhero movie. It's all fantasy. It's all just everything's made up. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Just calm down. You're like up here. Bring it down here. Who cares if he's CGI? He's a villain. He's a villain. I mean, Thanos is CGI. Nobody complains about that. Whatever. I mean, I'm not saying Marvel's better than DC or DC's better than Marvel because I love them both, but Marvel's on top. I understand that. They're on top. They are. Nobody can deny that. Anyway, like I was saying earlier in the video, I didn't feel like Steppenwolf was a Justice League threat because it seemed a little like Superman could have handled him all on his own kind of thing, and they just used Superman to kind of like, I don't know, they kind of diverted Superman's attention from Steppenwolf to make it seem like the team was needed to beat Steppenwolf, whereas Superman was off saving an entire building of people, which I love that scene when him and the Flash, and they're like, and they go separate ways, and the Flash saves these people in a truck, and he's feeling all good about himself. He's like, yeah, just save these three, this little family here in this pickup truck, and he looks over and Superman's carrying that entire like apartment building full of people, and that was pretty funny. He was like, oh, okay, well, you can do that. Well, whatever, I save people too. Yeah, so at the end, when they do finally beat Steppenwolf, in the theater when we were there, they're all standing on the side there, and they're all lined up, and they look like the Justice League, and it's a nice little iconic shot of all of them, and Cyborg says, booyah. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people in the theater were like, yes, all at the same time. So that was like an awesome collective moment of nerdiness that we were all just waiting for him to say it. Like, the Cyborg's catchphrase is booyah. I would have liked a little more enthusiasm, but hopefully in future movies with Cyborg, he'll throw that booyah in there more often. And I liked it when they turned him all sleek too. Like, he wasn't all broken up looking with his suit and stuff. Like, he transformed it into like the more common one that people know. I thought that was pretty cool too. All right, so there are 2 end credit scenes in this movie. Can I tell you how excited I was to have 2 end credit scenes, to have any end credit scenes in a DC movie? Finally, I seriously thought these end credit scenes made this movie so much better because it's something that DC should have been doing for a long time, and I feel like they've been like avoiding it because it's been such a popular thing that Marvel does. They don't want to follow in the footsteps of Marvel. I don't know, but it worked, and I really hope they keep doing it because it's something they needed to be doing this whole time. The first end credit scene was by far the best for me because it's the iconic who's faster, Superman or the Flash? Superman or the Flash? We're gonna have a race. And it's gonna be awesome. And I was like, yeah, they're gonna race. As soon as the scene came on, I was like, they're gonna race. I said it to Melissa, and she's like, shh, people are watching, they don't know. I'm like, oh, they know. Some people probably didn't, but yeah, I loved it. I thought that was great. The only thing I didn't like about that scene is Superman started flying. So, no, super buddy. You don't fly when you race Flash on foot. He still beats you even though you're flying, but it's a foot race there, buddy. You can fly if you want to. You fly some in the race anyway. Whatever. All right. So the second end credit scene is we get this scene from the prison where Lex Luthor is being held, and we find out he's escaped. He's gone. He's like, oh no, Lex is out. And then it cuts to this scene in the middle of the ocean, and there's a boat approaching like this giant super yacht and all this stuff. And you can tell from the outline, like if you're familiar with the DC Comics and the heroes and villains and stuff, you can tell from the outline of this guy in the darkness that it was Deathstroke. And I was like, oh, it's Deathstroke. I was telling Melissa, it's Deathstroke. And she's like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, it's okay, you'll see. And so he gets off the boat, and they go up there, and Lex is sitting there, and he's chilling in this nice little suit, and he's drinking his drinks, and up walks Deathstroke, and I was like, yeah, Deathstroke. And then he took his mask off, and I was like, okay, early reveal, you already showed your face, that's cool, whatever. not important, I guess, but whatever. Would have liked a little more mystery in you, but that's cool too. And it was a great scene. So what I really loved about that scene is it was world building, setting up the next movies, setting up future events, and also what that does is in that scene they're talking, and Lex says to Deathstroke, oh, they're starting a little team, I think it's time we put together a league of our own. And what he meant by that is the League of Supervillains. And I'm super excited for that because that'll be an awesome movie if they do even if they do a standalone League of Supervillains movie and then they do like a combined Justice League versus League of Supervillains movie would be so amazing. Like that would be awesome. I think they're going in the right direction with that kind of stuff. I think it would be amazing. Um, One other problem that I had with the movie, and I did not realize until after what had happened, I'm sorry, I'm backtracking here, but when they first showed Superman, I was a little concerned because he looked weird. And a lot of people know this. Some people didn't notice, a lot of people did notice, and a lot of people didn't like it. I thought he looked weird, and I was looking at it and I was like, what is wrong with his face? Something is wrong. And I was like, this doesn't look like him. And then I was like, but I saw his name in the opening credits. Like, it said Henry Cavill. Like, I saw it. I know it's him. Don't try to trick me, movie. Don't try it. And I was just kept watching, and there were some scenes where it looked normal and some scenes where it didn't. And then the day after, I realized, I was looking through stuff, and I realized they CGI'd his mustache out because he's contracted to have this mustache in this new Mission Impossible 6 movie. And I was like, oh, that was not good. They didn't do a good job, CGI buddies. You didn't do a good job. And apparently it cost them millions to CGI out his mustache. And it didn't look good. So work on that for next time because it was not good. Maybe in like the post-production of the DVD release or something, they'll go back and they'll retouch it up some more to make it look better or something. I don't know. But I know it could be better. Anyway, it didn't distract too much from the movie for me, so it didn't break the movie or anything, but I noticed. And I just didn't know why I noticed until afterwards, so that was kind of weird. Anyway, so I thought the movie was great. Yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, a lot of people are upset about it, and a lot of people aren't. Critics are always going to hate on DC. They always do. The only one they didn't hate on DC was Wonder Woman. And in my opinion, that's because it wasn't done by Zack Snyder. And I think that's the key here we need to move on from Zack Snyder. And I understand in this movie he had a significant family, a significant loss in his family. And that's very, it really sucks. And I sympathize with him and I feel for him. So hopefully, with him stepping down from this movie, hopefully DC will just kind of pull him from anything in the future they had him on in their projects. I think he's a good director. I just don't think he's good for DC. So hopefully he'll be able to come back and direct new movies in the future for different things that aren't DC related. And we'll just keep him away from DC and bring on somebody new who can continue this new trend. Because I think since Wonder Woman, DC is going up, Justice League is still up there. I believe it's up there. And I thought it was great. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. If you haven't seen it, you shouldn't even be watching this part of the video. But if you're like a lot of people I know, they like to watch spoilers, and that just blows my mind. I don't like anything spoiled for me because what's the point of going once you already know everything? That's just, I don't get it. Anyway, I thought it was great. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the movie if you've seen it. If you haven't, go watch it and tell me what you think down below. See you next time.